So in what seems perhaps to be long overdue, the Bombay High Court has today passed an order in which they have urged the media to exercise restraint when it comes to the Sushant Singh Rajput death case and its reporting on all of this. Now, as we all know, there's been a massive media frenzy. The reporting has gone pretty much out of hand in some ways, you might argue. And because of all of that which has happened, we've seen 2 PILs now filed in the Bombay High Court. Now, one of these PILs is by a set of former police officers from Bombay, former DGPs and former police commissioners, and they've focused to a large extent on the way the Mumbai police has been portrayed in the in the coverage by the TV channels. Now, what they pointed out is that, look, the TV channels have gone on and on about how the Mumbai police weren't doing a proper investigation. They're trying to protect people, but actually there's no evidence for that. If you look at even when the Supreme Court asked for the matter to be transferred to the CBI, the Supreme Court also specifically pointed out that there was no flaws in the Mumbai police investigation, or at least to the extent that the Mumbai police was investigating the case. Because as we know, the Mumbai police had not registered an FIR for murder or for abetment of suicide or any sort of serious offence at this stage. They were conducting the inquiry as per the Code of Criminal Procedure into any case of suicide to see if there was any grounds for considering it to be suspicious. On the one hand, on the other hand, of course, you had in Patna, the Patna police had registered FIRs relating to the claims by Sushant Singh Rajput's family about property being taken away, about cheating, about fraud, all of these kind of issues. So that's a separate those are separate issues, and that's what the Supreme Court had also held. So they've asked for these police officers have asked, the former retired police officers have asked the court to please get directions issued from the from the central government or from the from the broadcasting authorities, the Press Council of India, to these media channels to not portray the Mumbai police in a negative manner. Now, in addition to them, there's also another PIL by other activists and press who have pointed out that, the way this whole coverage has gone, whether it's been the sort of vilification of Rhea Chakraborty, whether it's been the hounding of witnesses, whether it's been the release of private information, private WhatsApp chats and everything else on TV channels, including even that show on Times Now where, for instance, the corpse of Sushant Singh Rajput was being shown. Now, they said all of this violates all the press norms, and if following those guidelines and the press code for all of this, the broadcast code needs to be strictly enforced and the government needs to pass orders. So essentially both these PILs are asking for directions for sort of sensible and fair media coverage of this whole incident, and to avoid sensationalizing it and avoid the kind of things which then take it to a situation where you're affecting the administration of justice. Because if you're affecting the ability of the investigation to go forward, whether by rushing and hounding witnesses when they're meeting the CBI, or putting out statements by witnesses, interviews with them, putting out even private text messages, that all could hamper not just the investigation but the trial as well, if there needs to be one. Now, of course, as we know, a lot of this, the stuff, especially what's been said about the Mumbai police. Now, if we look at what's been going on, even the CBI are saying that they don't see any grounds for a murder case here, and they're only going to look into a situation of abetment of suicide. So, the way the media trial has gone has been a huge issue. The court has not passed any further orders, any detailed orders on restraint or anything as of now, because they still have to hear from the media houses. They weren't able to hear from them today, so they have adjourned the case for a week, and they've issued notice to all the media channels who have been asked to represent themselves. Then we'll get to hear from them how they're defending their coverage, and we'll see if the court passes any further orders. So, that's obviously something to stay tuned for. We'll be giving you all the updates from the High Court, as well as obviously all the important and credible updates from the case itself, without the frenzy, the media trial, and all the salacious information which you're getting elsewhere. So stay tuned to the Quint for all those updates.